Johnny Tremain, Chapter 6, Section 4. Both the boys were in their truckle beds. The loft still smelled of tobacco and the spices of punch. Johnny moved restlessly on his bed. Rab? Uh, Rab, those boys you promised. Am I one? Of course. But my hand. What do we have to do? Chop open tea chests. Dump tea in the harbor. Rab. Hmm. How can I ever chop? You've 20 days to practice in. Logs in backyard need splitting. Rab? But the older boy was asleep. Johnny was so wide awake he couldn't close his eyes. Old meeting struck midnight. He settled himself again. Surely if he tried hard enough he could sleep. He was thinking of those tea ships, the Dartmouth, the Eleanor, the Beaver. Great white sails spread softly, sweeping on and on through the night to Boston. Nearer, nearer. He was almost asleep, twitched, and was wide awake. He would not think of the tea ships, but of those logs in the backyard he would practice on. He thought of Dr. Warren. Oh, why had he not let him see his hand? Scylla, waiting and waiting for him at North Shore, and then he got there only about when it pleased him. He loved Scylla. She and Rab were the best friends he had ever had. Why was he mean to her? He couldn't think. He would take an axe in his left hand and chop, chop, chop. So he fell asleep. Something large and white was looming up over him, about to run him down. He struggled awake, sat up, and found he was sweating. It was the great sails of the tea ships. From the bed next to him he heard the soft, slow breathing of the older boy, so much more involved than Johnny in the brewing storm. Rab had been able to drop off immediately. Somehow Johnny must draw into himself something of Rab's calm, his nerveless strength. He began to breathe in unison with the sleeping boy. So slowly, so softly, he fell into a heavy sleep.